You know, I keep trying to tell y'all passport bros time and time and time again. These chicks don't actually like you, bro. They don't. They really don't. And if you have some sort of like false sense of hope thinking if you fly overseas, you know, you're gonna meet the woman of your life, bro, the chances of that are so slim to none, it's not even funny. Today, we're diving into a recent incident that took place in Buenos Aires, Argentina, involving a French tourist who found himself in a very perilous situation. Now, I would say this story serves as a stark reminder of anyone the importance of vigilance, especially when traveling abroad, but also the idea that if you think women abroad genuinely like you because you're an American or whatever the case may be, outside of the realities of how women can behave, not to say that all of them have nefarious intentions, but you know what I'm saying here. If you think you're gonna go overseas to like beat the odds or whatever the case may be, brother, I'm telling you right now, this story is just one of like millions. And at this point, y'all need to be a little bit smarter with how you go about doing this. So you already know we're gonna go ahead and break this down. Without any hesitation, let's jump into it. February 21st, 2025, 24-year-old French tourist Robin Mathis was vacationing in Buenos Aires. Now, during his stay, he encountered 5 women at Plaza Serrano at Palomero. Trying to roll my R's. I'm not Spanish, but I'm trying. Now, enticed by the prospect of having a good time, he invited them back to his rented apartment in Almagro neighborhood. Surveillance footage later revealed that the group entered the building with one woman returning to let in an accomplice. Once inside, Diefenbach reported sharing drinks with the woman but recalled nothing thereafter, suggesting he was drugged. Now, here's the first red flag already. First of all, you meet 5 women at some random plaza and you think all of them want to smash you? Bro, who do you think you are? Like, I'm not even trying to say this as like some sort of hater. Listen, if your reality is you've got 5 women coming up to approach you and they already want to go ahead and jump off, then by all means, brother, go ahead and do it. But what I'm saying is that comes off like a setup. I know for myself personally, whenever I was single and dating and I was, out here in these streets, if I had a woman approach me, I would have to ask her first off rip, like, who sent you? Because naturally, women will approach guys they find attractive. That is true. But I don't know. In my perspective and just my opinion, I always feel like something like that is kind of like a setup. Like, I'm from the era where you had to approach women in order to, get something started. But nowadays, it feels like, yes, granted, women will approach you and they will do it often, especially if you're attractive, right? But I don't know. I always take that security check like, number 1, who sent you? And number 2, are you crazy, right? And then that involves a conversation, but let's keep going. Now, the woman made off with his passport, bank cards, computer, and other valuables, leaving him unconscious in the process. Granted, the red signs were there, but my bro was just so down bad, he figured, fuck it. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Unfortunately, he got cooked in the end. Avoid this, guys. This doesn't have to be you. Yes, you can go overseas and have a good time, but I don't think you need to be taking chances just like this because, worse things have happened to a lot of guys. A lot of guys have got done up the wrong way, if you know what I'm saying, because they had this mindset as well. Now, this incident is part of a troubling trend in Buenos Aires, where tourists have fallen victim to a so-called Black Widow robbery. These crimes involve assailants, often women, who lure victims into vulnerable situations to drug and rob them. The US Embassy in Buenos Aires has issued alerts highlighting an increase in such incidents, cautioning travelers about the risk of accepting drinks or invitations from strangers. And now, personally speaking, I think this caution should go across the board. Like, you don't have to be cautious in another country. You could do that right here at home. For real. I mean, granted, a lot of dudes are, pulling the Bill Cosby on women. Sidebar, fellas, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But my whole thing is this. If she don't want to fuck you when she's sober, bro, trying to get her intoxicated is not gonna end well for you. You better make sure she wants to jump off when she's sober. Otherwise, you are cooked, fam. But again, this isn't just limited to women, right? Like, a lot of people think that women are the only ones who might get their drinks spiked at the club or whatever the case may be. But this also happens to guys. Circulating back to what I was trying to say before, don't just leave these rules for when you're out of the country. Be safe everywhere you go. Does that mean be paranoid? No, but it's better to check than not check, because if you didn't check and you got drugged, now you're cooked. You feel me? Now listen, I get it. You want to see women from other countries. There are some fine, beautiful women all over these countries, and I understand. Listen, as a Caribbean man myself, I see beautiful Caribbean women everywhere I go. And although I haven't gotten the chance to go back to Haiti, I'm sure when I do, I will run into a plethora of beautiful, incredible Caribbean women. However, albeit traveling offers incredible experiences, it's so crucial to remain cautious. Dudes, my fellas in particular, you should be aware of the potential dangers when engaging with strangers in unfamiliar environments, not just in other countries, but everywhere. The allure of companionship can sometimes cloud our judgment, leading to risky situations. Now, it's a misconception that coming from a Western country automatically makes one more appealing or trustworthy in the eyes of locals. In reality, opportunists like we constantly see in these stories may see tourists as easy targets regardless of their origin. Now, if you stuck with me for this long, obviously you like the content, do me and yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10K and I want you to be a part of this community. So hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it, you find it valuable or entertaining, go ahead and share it with somebody. But before we go ahead and close, let's go ahead and talk about some of the steps you could take in order to be safer. Now, obviously these steps are pretty banal, right? Like this is something you should already know. And a lot of you have been traveling, some of you have more traveling experience than me, but as someone who has gotten the chance and the opportunity to see various places in my short life, I want to give y'all some tips. So here we go. Now, obviously the number one, exercise caution with strangers. Now, when I was single and working in tech, I was doing a lot of traveling because I worked in sales. I had the opportunity to go to plenty of states on the company's dime. And of course, while out doing a lot of corporate work, you tend to have a little fun as well. I was on a lot of these dating apps, and for the women that I found, when I approached them or met them in person, I always started off with two very valuable questions. The first one being, A, why are you here tonight? And the second one being, what is your story? I know some of you might think that question is stupid, but it's very valuable. The reason why I ask those questions is because A, it gives you an insight into whether it be the truth or not, but some insight into what she's thinking and what she wants out of this experience, which then sets you up for how to act and compart yourself during the date. And number two, this question gives key insight into some of her characteristics. Now, it's up to you to discern and determine if that's something you want to pursue, but in those cases, sometimes they'll lay out all their red flags right in front of you. Number two, guard your drinks, obviously. Never leave your beverages unattended and avoid accepting drinks from people you don't know well. Number three, secure your valuables. I don't travel with additional luggage or anything. I try to stuff everything I possibly can in a carry-on and a personal bag that I carry with me on the airplane. But in this case, when you're going to other countries, regardless if you have a bunch of luggage or you just have one bag, make sure you keep your eyes on it. Number three, secure your valuables. Keep important documents such as passports and bank cards in a safe place. Consider using hotel safes and avoid carrying all your valuables at once. And lastly, stay connected. Let people know, like friends or family, of your whereabouts and your plans. Obviously, you don't have to tell them everything, but just let them know the vicinity of where you'll be. You feel me? Like, obviously, don't give everything away if you're trying to be discreet about some things, but just let people know, because when your ass goes missing and no one knows where you are, I'm sorry fam, it's a wrap for you. Now again, traveling is fun. The experiences can be great, and if you travel by yourself and you've got the cash and bread, you can have a lot of fun. But you gotta be smart about these things. And again, if you're going over there thinking you're gonna find the love of your life, odds are that's not gonna happen. The biggest question you should be asking yourself is, why can't you find a woman in the States? If the answer to that question is because they feel as though they're more independent, reverse engineer that entire answer, and then you'll find really what you're complaining about is that women, or at least some women, might actually be on a level playing field with you. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just try to find somebody who meshes with you and, you know, you can gel with. But anyway, that's enough of me yapping. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out all the descriptions in the description as well. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by and listening to me yap. Appreciate you. I'll see you on another video, but until then, peace.